Hello, hello. Welcome to Mountain Crypto. As I get this stuff situated, I do believe everything's working. I am going to use you folks out there that happen to watch this as my guinea pig. So there it is. And I think we're going. All right. So this is a presentation I've been working on, so bear with me. It's entitled Bitcoin and Cryptocurrency 101. And the basic theme of the presentation is what is Bitcoin, a little bit of blockchain basic, and very, very basic acquire and hold. How do you hold this magic coin? And then in the live presentation, I will have a Q&A session. Okay, so as usual, just like always online, I do my disclaimer. It's not financial advice. I'm not an advisor of any kind. Do your own research because you can lose all your money. And then again, you might make some money too. So I go into a brief description. We're up here in the hills, East County, San Diego. We have chickens and we have a little ranch here. We have monkeys. My two kids keep me busy. And I have the love of my life, my wife, who puts up with me and all my hobbies. Trying to distract me right now, which is not hard to do. All right. So does it look like I'm on there? You can't find it? Okay. Well, I'll keep going. If you could just try and see if it's on YouTube, that'd be cool. It might not be working then. I do a little intro of myself. I'm the host of Mountain Crypto YouTube, as everybody knows who's watching this. Engineer by trade with some automated building control software and hardware background going back quite a ways. I started off when Windows 3.0 came out, or I think it was just 3.0. And it was on an IBM computer back around 1985-ish. And I remember at the time, I needed a car very badly, a cheap car. And a car was the same as an IBM computer with Windows on it, about $6,000. Pretty crazy. Now my phone has more power. All right, so we're online, great. So I can pretend like I'm really doing this now. I've been an entrepreneur and a business owner for a long time. I'm not an investment guru or anything, but I was lucky enough to be successful through the dot-com boom. And that's not because I'm a genius, because I try to be cautious. I try to be safe. I try not to invest more than I can afford to lose. So that's my suggestion to you. I had an early interest in Bitcoin and crypto history, starting around 2010. 2017, I started more actively investing and started mining, which is a term you will become a little bit more familiar with. Mining is the crypto computers that run, for example, the Bitcoin blockchain and network. And we'll talk about that. March 2018, started live and recorded presentations on YouTube and social media. And we also have our mountaincrypto.net website that you can check out. So I'd like to start this by just talking about money. Real basic, what is money? Money that we have here in our country, it's fiat. Most countries, it's fiat. It has a value if it's trusted. If it's not trusted, there may not be any value. You look at Venezuela and you have a huge pile of money and the toilet paper is worth more. And that's sadly the truth. Money typically is what society thinks it's worth. Of course, there's a lot of other factors, but that's the basic. Money, fiat, is government issued and government controlled. So it's centralized. The difference with most cryptocurrencies is they're decentralized. They're not government controlled. They're what we, the people, we, the community, feel that it's worth. In most cases with the larger currencies, such as Bitcoin, it's a global consensus of what it's worth. It's decentralized. So money has to be exchanged to be used. Money is a means of exchange, of course. And if you want to use US dollars in another country, you're going to have to pay exchange fees. You're going to have to wire it. You're going to have difficulties transferring it. So there's a difference with most money as opposed to cryptocurrencies, which can be transported across any country that allows cryptocurrency. It can be you can do a transaction very quickly. In basic terms, money is a means of exchange. It's a means of trust, and it is an agreed upon value to make an exchange. So modern forms of money that we have today, you got fiat, you got credit cards, you got ATM, you got gift cards, all these. And these can be used digitally across the internet. These can be retrieved by, if you use a card, you make a transaction with a store, and they send electronic signal verifying that they got the okay from you, and then they get electronic signal, which puts electronic signal in their bank, and now all of a sudden they magically have the money there. So there's some similarities to cryptocurrency. It's not that far off from what we're already doing. There's all sorts of things that are forms of exchange. You have bank transfers, wire, ETF, electronic. You have digital wallets such as Apple Pay. Payment method, acceptance. This is just a particular vendor or person who's selling things, company that's selling things that prefers a certain sort of payment. We talked about the miners in the beginning. The miners are the computing power that maintains, for example, the Bitcoin network. The company that makes a lot of those miners is called BitMax, or Bitmain. And they only accept, for a while, they were only accepting Bitcoin Cash. Now, I've heard they accept other types of cryptocurrency, but they don't want your cash because they're in China. Let's get some money to them very quickly, and then they have it. And then finally, we have cryptocurrencies, which we're going to talk about today. Cryptocurrencies are just means of value and doing transfers of value. A lot of things can be built. Cryptocurrencies run on their blockchain. The blockchain is their network. So there's different types of networks on different types of cryptocurrencies, different brand names, I guess you could say, right? But we're going to concentrate on Bitcoin today. Just understand that. Oh, what happened here? I do not remember putting that in there. Something went wrong. Oh boy. This was supposed to be, oh, that's interesting. Hey, I didn't do that before. In the beginning, there was Bitcoin. Started about 2008, came online about 2009. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Creator is Satoshi Nakamoto. He is an unknown person or a group of people that developed Bitcoin and authored the white paper. That was in October 2008, and then the software started in 2009, January. That's when Bitcoin first started to become available. I first heard about it about 2010. So the promise of Bitcoin, maybe it seems a little hype, right? Not really going to do all these things. Now I'm just going to digress for a second, because I think when people come to find out about Bitcoin, they're just starting to come around Bitcoin. Why do they care? Why do they care about cryptocurrency? In the community, there's a lot of people that are saying things like, go Lambo. They want to get rich, right? I'm a redneck, so there's a lamb and a bow. That's a Lambo to me. But why do you care? I would just say to you, if it's all about the money, you're in it for probably, it's fine to be in it for the money. We should care about our family and our history and things like that. But I just say, if it's all about the money, you might want to reevaluate why you're doing it, because you might not make the best decisions as you move forward. And I might be a little bold and just say, you might want to do some personal improvement, self-help, as it were, and kind of find your why you're doing this. Because you will do better in the long run if you have principled reasons why you're getting invested in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Okay, so just take that as a kind of a personal, well, what in the heck is this? And I'm having all kinds of fun this time. Oh, I'm doing my bad. I'm doing a formatted disk in the background. So anyway, what is cryptocurrency? Basically, it's money on a software platform. And these platforms, a lot of things can be done on these platforms. Bitcoin, Litecoin, some of the top cryptocurrencies are strictly about a means of exchange. They're kind of like money, in a way. Now, there are other cryptocurrencies that are using the platform to accomplish other things. Today, we're going to concentrate on Bitcoin, but we'll talk a little bit about cryptocurrencies in general. We'll talk about the platform so that we can understand the platform and understand how this money works. Some of the platforms you're already using, probably Windows. So you have platform to do data, do spreadsheets, do ledgers, all kinds of things, right? Dropbox, this is a platform where you can store and share documents. So Windows usually works on your own computer, or you could have a window cloud service. Dropbox typically is an outside server that's going to store this data that you can go in and out of. And Fedwire is a software program that sends money between financial institutions. All of these platforms, you need fiat currency to get the license or to be able to utilize the service, right? All of those things. So you're paying to use these platforms, basically, is what you're doing. That's basically what's happening. Windows stored on your computer, Dropbox is servers, and Fedwire is a system to send money. It's very much like cryptocurrency and the things that you can do in cryptocurrency. You can store things there. You can use it as a database, and you can use it as a means of exchange. Okay, it's a store of value too. So cryptocurrency usually replaces US dollars for the things that you want to purchase, especially when you're talking about Bitcoin. Or it can be used as a platform for some of these other cryptocurrencies. Okay, the goal of cryptocurrency is going to be to improve on some sort of existing software system or network. Okay. So if you're using PayPal or Western Union, you're going to be sending fiat money just like Bitcoin. You can do it easier with Bitcoin in a lot of situations. I just gave an example about how one company, that's all they take. And there's some companies that if you do transactions with them globally, they're going to want you to use Bitcoin or one of the top coins, one of the top 5 coins. Okay, so there's all kinds of cryptocurrencies. As of March 2018, we have 1,658 cryptocurrencies listed, and probably at least that many more that have gone by the wayside or that aren't even listed. Okay, so be careful if you're going to look at those. This year, if you invest in every single ICO, you're going to be down about 50%. Last year, you'd be up over 1,200%. So things have changed in the market. If you're new, stick with the top dogs, right? So what is the promise of cryptocurrency? You hear a lot of news, negative and bad, and sometimes good, sometimes great. Seems like when you're in cryptocurrency, like I am, whenever CNBC gives good news, and this has been proven actually, whenever they give good news, Bitcoin goes down. like 95% of the time or better. Whenever they give bad news, then Bitcoin just goes up 95% of the time. So you can almost trade successfully just off the opposite of what you hear in the news, more or less. There's a little more to it than that, but that's a rule of thumb. You can pretty much count on historically. Okay, so Bitcoin and market cap, wow, right now it's huge. Over 50% of the cryptocurrency market is dominated by Bitcoin and its market cap. You see it right there. Yeah, that's 109 billion with a B, almost $110 billion market cap right now. I just checked it. Blockchain venture capital funding, 2 billion to date. I think it's higher. I think it's a lot higher. Bitcoin will hit $1 million, says John McAfee. Is that true? Maybe. You can look that up. It's an interesting way of looking at it based off of the capitalization. It remains to be seen. So blockchain to promise. And these are just some of the things. This is not everything, but if we can get rid of this right here. There we go. Get rid of that. I was talking about how it's a platform. Cryptocurrency is a platform. So you see there at the bottom, schools are recording student results using Bitcoin tech. So they're recording things on this ledger. The blockchain is also a ledger. All these different things that are happening. And there's so many more right now. All the big companies, Google, Facebook, Twitter, right now they don't want you to advertise. They don't want you to do anything with crypto, but yet they're all getting their finger into the pie. They're all actively getting involved in cryptocurrency. So kind of interesting, huh? It's like the banks get money for pennies on the dollar and then can leverage it 100 times more. So it ends up, they can create money out of nothing. They want the power. They don't want us to have it, these large companies and agencies. So that's another discussion, but those are the facts. So being decentralized, that's an advantage, okay? Even though the market's kind of a wild, wild west right now. So this is from Reuters Visual Guide, Blockchain Explained, and I have a outline that I'm working on. If you want one, email me when it's done. I'll send you one. I got the link to this and to everything I'm using in this presentation. So let's see if we can get it to work. It's supposed to work. Come on, work. Why aren't you working? Oh, I think it's trying to work. Okay, here we go. It's working. It's just slow. I have AT&T, the worst internet service I've ever had in 30 years. Okay? So you can read this if you want, but it just puts it in a visual guide, very basic. Blockchain's a database stored across all kinds of computers all over the world. And it is extremely hard to change this database. You cannot, it has never been hacked. Bitcoin blockchain has never been hacked, okay? That says something. We're going to talk about how hard it would be to hack it later. Just to understand this network, it's constantly checking these transactions and verifying. And then once somebody, one of the first computers makes a verification, all the other computers that are out there, or a percentage of them, at least 51% or something like that, I think. But a huge portion of them have to give a consensus to this transaction and verify it. In the transaction, we're going to go over kind of how that happens. Okay. First of all, you've got a database. Records are going to be bundled together into blocks. These are the blocks, and added to the chain, one after another. So those are the basic parts. Okay. Let's go down. Now here is a real simplified step one. Here's a transaction between these two gentlemen. And once it's completed, you now have the record. That record is going to go into the network. The computers in the network are called nodes. I'm going to check the details. I'm going to make sure that it's valid. They're going to match up everything. You are on one end. You have what's called a wallet, and you're making a transaction, and you're sending it to another wallet to receive it. And that wallet is verified through the network of computers. Once that happens, the consensus says, okay, this is verified, this is okay. It can be added to the block. So the record goes into the block. Once the other records are into the block, it's been completed, there's a hash on each side of the block. One hash has to match up to the existing blockchain. The other hash is a new hash that will have to be matched up to the next block that's connected to it. These are cryptographic codes. They're computed by a huge amount of computer generating power. And here's a visual of the block being matched up by the hash to the previous block, adding a new chain to the blockchain. And really, this is very simplified terms here, how it happens, to help us be able to visually gain somewhat of an understanding of what's going on with blockchain. Okay? So now I talked briefly about the wallet. This is where you hold your Bitcoin. You have this cryptographic money. How do you know it's there? How do you track it? You kind of know now that it's made up of codes that are stored on the blockchain. And you kind of know now that you have to have a wallet with an address in order to do it. So those wallets can be found on exchanges. Exchanges are where you can use fiat or maybe Bitcoin or maybe another cryptocurrency called Ethereum or maybe several other types of cryptocurrencies. You can put in that account and you can use that to trade back and forth other cryptocurrencies on the exchange, basically like a trading platform for cryptocurrencies. You can have an online cloud wallet. You can have a downloadable application, which can be on your computer or your phone. You can have a hardware wallet, which is a separate device. Some of them look like zip drives. Some of them are a little more fancier with screens. You have cold storage. Cold storage can be your hard wallet just offline, it can be your device offline. It can be an outside service that stores your coins offline. You don't have to be online to have these coins. A custodian, this is typically a company that holds the coins and guarantees a certain amount of safety, typically through insurance that backs it up. And finally, you can have a paper wallet you can actually generate yourself. And we'll talk about that and look at an example of it. First, let's look at cryptocurrency exchanges. There's a lot of them out there. Top 5, this, that. For beginners, Coinbase is probably the best place to start. Okay. And I have a link. It is a what you call affiliate or referral site. So if you go to it, there is a little incentive. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so a lot of these exchanges have been hacked. The better ones do everything they can to refund people, such as Bittrex. I use that one. Poloniex I hear is good. I've used Shapeshift. I've used Cryptopia. It's kind of not as great, but sometimes you can get, if you're looking at some of the more rare type coins or newer coins, that might be something you want to look at. One of those, not top 10 trading platforms, okay? But the thing is, they learn from it. Once they're hacked, they learn from it. And a lot of times, these weaknesses are improved upon, okay? Now, if you compare this to the banking industry, people's accounts are getting hacked all the time, and you don't even hear anything about it on the news anymore. So trust me, when somebody gets hacked in this industry, you can hear about it all over the place. So It's not, I wouldn't say that it's just so much more dangerous, okay? All right, wallets. We talked about cloud wallets. I don't recommend them. They aren't secured. Mobile wallets, they're great. This is what most people use. Downside is if you lose your phone or it breaks, you lose the app. So there is a way to have a backup for that. The paper wallet is one of those ways. You can even do a backup. If you have a computer, you can do a backup on a zip drive or something like that. Okay. Desktops, same risk as the mobile wallets. All wallets are you can give your private address to everybody, but never give your, all wallets, you can give your public address for making transactions, but your private address, you never want to give to anybody. And always get a paper backup with a seed. The seed is a code. And we'll talk about that real quickly later. Keep them in a fireproof safe deposit box. Employ as many precautions as possible, including cold storage. So if you're going to keep a certain amount of cryptocurrency, then you're going to want to invest in at least a hard wallet. Hard wallets can't be hacked when they're offline. So there are unscrupulous people out there that are trying to sneak a peek in your computer, what's going on. So it does really isolate it. It makes it much safer. It can be lost or broken, so don't lose them. Keep your seed, keep your paper wallet backup. Overall, it's the best choice if you're going to be storing, I would say, a few $100s or more, because they do cost. They're typically about $100 to $200, maybe some that are a little bit higher. So depending on how fancy a one you get, okay? Here's some basic safety for crypto investors, and this is going to be included in the outline too. Use a two-factor authentication. Google has an authenticator. You can get it off the apps. You can keep that on your phone. It gives, for each account, you set it up, any account that you have, Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, any of the exchanges that you get on, Bittrex, whatever one, okay? Maybe Binance. You have a two-factor. That even makes it safer, okay? Use a two-factor authenticator. Don't use public Wi-Fi, never. Okay? Be aware of all downloads on your computer or your cell phone. Don't just update because the flag comes up. Make sure you go to the website, okay? Make sure you go to the website to do the updates. Don't just reply to an email. Separate email for crypto. Don't name it crypto or Bitcoin anything, okay? Hackers are looking to hack into email addresses where they think they might be able to find some Bitcoin information. Never use a password memory function wherever you're keeping your apps, wherever you're doing your trading, wherever you're doing your purchasing. When it asks you if you want to save it, say no. Okay. Keep your private keys offline. Private keys. Those are the information that you would need to retrieve your account if you lost your application or your computer went up in smoke, right? So once magic smoke comes out, you can't put it back in. You got to buy a new computer. Then you pull out your paper wallet. Now you can retrieve your account again. Don't keep emails. Don't keep photos of any of this information. Use one computer only for crypto if possible. Got an extra computer? Can you get the apps up on it? Use that one. Turn it offline when you're not using it for crypto if you have that advantage. Keep backup paper wallet in safe deposit box or fireproof safe. Never post or tell anyone how much crypto you have. Never. Okay. People who share with others on Facebook or on YouTube, like myself, we might talk about the percents of what we're investing in, but we don't talk about the money. Another thing you want to look out for is HTTPS, not HTTP. The S is for secure. Bookmark those websites. Never use a link from an email, ever. And as far as that goes, you'll never get an email from me asking for money or anything else. People do copy other people's websites, and they mirror it. They mirror their emails. They mirror their websites. So don't ever respond to an email of anything. If you see something you like in an email and you think, oh, that's great, you know, that's my regular email I get from those folks, go directly to the website that you saved when you first got associated with the group and respond from there. Make sure the S is up. Here's a paper wallet. So when you're setting up your wallet, you download the application, follow the instructions. It's going to ask you if you want a paper wallet. It's going to ask you possibly if you want a seed. The seed is just a code, another way of getting your account back up, which is made up of a combination of words. I believe it's 12 to 24 words. Your paper wallet has got your private address on it and you don't share with anybody. It's got your public address. It's got a QR code. This can get you up and going very quickly. Wallet basics. So we'll talk about the wallets a little bit more. You've heard me talking about it. Private key, never give it out. Public key, you give it out to receive funds. Don't use the same address over and over again on every website you go to. If you end up trading on 2 or 3 different sites, okay, if you think, oh, I'm going to get some free money, be careful. Don't jump on board with all that stuff. Be very careful. There's a lot of people offering airdrops and this and that. They want your wallet address. Be very careful. Hardware wallets, hold your wallet just as the other devices. So it is holding an application on it that can hold your tokens, has your private keys and your public keys on it. So let's look at these 2 wallets really quickly and talk about how it works. You can see the arrows. So just say the guy on the left is you, or gal on the left is you. And the other person is someone that you want to put money in that exchange, that wallet. Let's say it's an exchange. You're going to go to Coinbase Pro, and your wallet is located in Coinbase. So you've got 2 keys there that are going to come with your account. Your public key, you copy it, and you paste it over into their receive. You're going to let them know that they're going to receive that money. And then you make the transaction. You put in the amount. Typically, it'll have a bar on one side where you can transfer it into US dollars, the Bitcoin. So you put like 100 Bitcoin, I'll put in whatever percentage of Bitcoin that is, 0.0002 or whatever it is, right? And then once you hit send, that transaction goes out to the network of computers. They see those transactions, they see your public key, and they see that you're sending it to them, and they see their key, and they cryptographically decode the private keys, basically, and are able to make that transaction. Once they do that, the other computers in the network come to a consensus, and they say, yeah, that's right. And a transaction is confirmed at that point. And the block, that transaction becomes part of the block. So we talked about how this is being confirmed. We talked about addresses. We talked about Bitcoin never being hacked. So let's look at how safe is your wallet. Typical Bitcoin wallet looks like what you see there in a paragraph. It's made up of numbers, small cap, large cap letters, and it actually translates into the digital groups of numbers that you see below with commas. So that's the address. Pretty long, right? A lot of numbers there. Let's look at it a little deeper. And kind of remember that checkerboard there, because that's what we're going to be talking about, kind of to bring it into human terms so we can kind of understand how safe it really is and what are the odds. Total possible number of BTC addresses is 2 to whatever that sign is, to the power of 160. It's more than the power of, though. So it's basically 146 followed by 46 zeros. So you think, oh, that's a long number. What does that really mean? If you had a chessboard with 1-inch squares and a BTC address, for every single BTC address that's possible that's out there, on each side, it would now be 2 to 80 long. Okay, so how long is that? If each square is an inch. If we could travel at the speed of light, it would take 3,245,772 light years to travel. So it'd take you 3 million years at light speed just to check one column. One column. That's how safe it is. That's how big it is. If we took all the supercomputers, okay, and all the Bitcoin computers, which is huge. I think they said Bitcoin uses enough electricity, and it's a little less now than it was, to power like Denmark or something. I forget what country it was. It's a huge amount of electricity. But if you had access to all those computers to try and find this, okay, it would cost $7.5 million in electricity alone to find one wallet with no promise of any funds available. Okay, so how many addresses have actual BTC dollars in them? There's only about 5 million addresses, maybe 6 by now. I don't know. I didn't look this up recently, but somewhere 5 or 6, whatever. So now go back to the chessboard. Think about all those columns. We just checked one. How many columns will we have to check in order to find one that had some kind of Bitcoin in it, at least a fraction of a Bitcoin? Okay, maybe it has thousands of Bitcoins in it. Maybe it just has a fraction of one, just a few pennies. There's a lot of them out there like that. People get started in Bitcoin, get a few pennies, and then they walk away from it. So if you get through 100 columns in a year, it would take 2 again to 51 years to hit and find just a fraction of a BTC, possibly, right? So it's 2.5 quadrillion years. Now you finally found a wallet. Isn't that crazy? Beam me up, Scotty. There's no Bitcoin here. It's just not there. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. If you started on a Star Trek, right, in your spaceship, you're going to try to find one funded Bitcoin address using the full power of all the computers, including the entire Bitcoin network, okay? If you did that, you find 0.0006 of the way. You'd only be 0.0006 of the way to finding your first funded address. That's crazy. That's crazy. All those years, and you'd only find your first one. So the point is, it's basically impossible. It's likely not going to happen anytime soon, okay? There's been some people who talk about quantum computers. They're a long way off, and people have already thought of a way to combat quantum computers from cracking the Bitcoin code. So I don't think that's anything we have to worry about, but people are worried about it enough. They're actually already working on solutions. So it's kind of cool. All right. Now you add a hard wallet to that or cold storage and second authenticator for your wallet, you've got even more safety, right? If you ignore the safety precautions that I've outlined, it can make it very easy to be hacked, just as with any other funded financial instrument that you might be invested in, whether it be fiat or whatnot. Okay? So now we're going to look at how do you buy this coin? You know, most beginners start at Coinbase. On the outline, I have a link, and at the description below the YouTube description, I have a link. It's a referral link. If you put $100 in, you get extra free $10, and they give us $10. Okay, I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't think it was the best. They are secured by the SCE. They actually have insurance, and you can read about that on their website. Let's look at a basic account, how to start, and why most people recommend it. It's easy to use for beginners. Cash deposit, there's no fee. If you do buy coins on it, it can be expensive. You can pay 3%, 4%, 5%, depending on the transaction fee at the time. Looks like I'm going to open it up already. This is a nice little link. I have it in the outline. It's a tutorial for beginners. I don't think it's completely necessary, but if you like tutorials, this will walk you through. Basically, you get registered. There's a registration page, pretty generic. You've got your email. Remember to set up a separate email. Some people recommend going with like Proton email. It's an encrypted service for extra protection if you want to do that. Add your phone number. Use your cell phone. It makes it easier when you're doing transactions. You use your phone as kind of a I would call it a security device. I would put my authenticator there from Google, and you can do if you're not going to store a ton of money on your Coinbase account, you can feel pretty good about having a Coinbase app on your phone. But I would do all the other transactions on a separate computer if possible, or use a hard wallet. Okay. Sorry about the phone there. There's your phone. Basically, you just walk it through, verify your identity. So the way you verify your identity, pretty simple. Typically, on most of these exchanges, you get a picture of yourself. You take a picture of the front and the back of your driver's license. Then they're probably going to want you to hold your driver's license up, and then like a little card, like a 3x5 card or whatever. You're going to have the name of the exchange on there and then the date. And then they can verify your identity. You can use your driver's license. You can use a passport. Let me get a swig of coffee here, getting dry. Excuse me. All right. And then you want to set up your payment method. Now, I've been doing this for a long time with Coinbase. Once you set up your payment method, you see you have a choice here: debit card, credit card, or a bank account. I would recommend using a bank account. It's cheaper. With a debit card or credit card, you're going to pay a higher percentage. With a bank account, you can do automatic withdrawals. Boom. Cash. It takes a few days for the cash to hit your account. It usually takes about 7 to 10 days. Okay. 2 weeks at the longest. So if you're going to do a strategy where you buy a certain amount a month and you have a little bit of money that you don't mind losing, because I don't recommend you borrow money or invest money that you can't afford to lose. You have a little bit of mad money that you want to put in this and see what happens. Play the game, try to ride the next uptick, then tie it into a bank account. If you don't feel safe, then start another little bank account. Okay, you can usually do that for pretty much free with the credit union or U.S. Bank if you hold a certain amount of money. Okay, whatever bank, you look into it. Then you can buy cryptocurrency. Now, if you buy cryptocurrency on a Coinbase account, they are going to charge a fee. And there is the fee for verification, which is to pay the network and all that. And it's going to be like 3 to 5%. But if you deposit cash, US dollars here, then there is a technique that can save you a lot of money buying Bitcoin. And I'll talk about that. But if you really want it basic and you're like, you know what, I just want it easy, I'll pay the 5%. Then you can buy Bitcoin right here, straight from your bank, and you can hold it. You get, a lot of $100 worth or whatever you don't feel safe with, and you can transfer it to a hard wallet if you want. Or if you have a separate computer and you have the computer offline, that's a pretty safe bet too. Especially if you're not opening email on it. That would probably be even better. All right. You're not doing anything but crypto. You can look at your account. You can see what your purchases are. You can see what your accounts are. There's also, you can look at the market. The top coins are on there. There's not a ton of coins on Coinbase, but that's a good thing because they're probably the safest coins. You can buy and sell Bitcoin. You can buy and sell Bitcoin Cash. You can buy and sell Ethereum. You can buy and sell Litecoin. You can buy and sell Ethereum Classic, which is a new coin that just came out. And they're forks. So originally it was Bitcoin. The Bitcoin Cash forked off of Bitcoin. and then was Ethereum, and then Ethereum Classic forked off of Ethereum. And basically, at some point, the membership of those coins, they didn't agree. And there was enough support that they were able to fork off. And they have kind of a different white paper. The white paper kind of shows their path, what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, how the company is going to be ran. So you can look at the white paper. If you want to do investigation on coins, you can go to coinmarketcap.com, and it'll show you the daily price of the coins. It'll show you a chart. You can look at the white paper. You can scan down and go to the website. The company website will give you the basic information and basically a pretty rosy interpretation of that particular currency. But that's a basic way to get into cryptocurrency, is with a Coinbase account. And we do have affiliate link to get you started with a few more dollars if that's something you want to do. Coinbase Pro. This is a sister company of Coinbase. If you're going to trade, you're going to buy Bitcoin, and you want to do it a little bit cheaper, this is a good way to do it. When you sign up for Coinbase Pro, they're going to ask you if you have a Coinbase account. It makes it really easy to get started because your Coinbase account is going to be tied to this Coinbase Pro account. We can actually look at the charts. You can look at different trading pairs. Trading pairs are where you buy and sell. So the most common trading pair is Bitcoin and USD. So you're going to buy Bitcoin, you'll be able to use USD to do it. So let's say you had your Coinbase account right here. You tied it into your bank account. Finally, a week later, the $100 shows up in the US cash part of your account. Now you can go to Coinbase and you can go to deposit. You would click on BTC, deposit right here, deposit. And you would go back to your other wallet. Oops. Go to your wallet here. You'd copy that address. You can either highlight it and hit C, and then when you come back Pro, you can hit CV and it'll paste it, or you can just hit right click, hit copy, and then bring it back over to Coinbase Pro, and then go right click paste. And I'll put the address in there, and then you put the amount. Or you can put max. It's gonna, when you click that, it's gonna come up and it's gonna say, do you want a bank transfer? Do you want credit card? Or do you want Coinbase account? You click Coinbase account, you make the transfer, the money comes right into this account. Once you have the money there, when you go over to your wallet, right here, you're gonna have a wallet on this site. All the accounts are gonna pop up, and you're gonna see those accounts. You're going to see that the US dollars are there. So if you wanted to buy Bitcoin, you would go over here, you would click this, you would hit buy. And if you do I believe it's market, it's going to be 30 cents for $100 worth, about. Sometimes it's 28, sometimes it's 30 cents. Then you hit place order. It's going to ask you to confirm. You're going to want to look at your authenticator. It's going to show a token number, which changes every few seconds, every 30 seconds, 20 seconds. You put that in there, transaction's complete. Within a couple minutes, couple seconds, you're going to see back in your wallet, the Bitcoin is going to be on there. So we'll take a look real quick. If it'll come up, should come up. Where are you? I know I had a link on this. Come here. Doesn't seem to be here anymore. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Never know where it's going to put it. Let's see. There, it looks like it might be working. Right there. Come on. Don't fail me now. I don't know why it's not working. Could be my internet. Stinks again. Maybe if I click over here. Come on. All right, I got another technique to get there. This is Coinbase Pro. Let me see what I got here. Coinbase Pro, where are you? Here we go. Always have a backup, right? It's not working. Shoot. Because it's taking my... All right, well, dirty red. Try it again here. Oh, okay, let's try this. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Beginner's Guide to Coinbase Pro. I'm going to include this in the outline. So the outline will be at the presentation on the 21st, Alpine Library. But if you email me, I won't bother you with your email address, but as soon as I get the outline completed, cleaned up, I'll send you a copy with all the links. Okay? So there it is. There's Coinbase Pro that we talked about. This just walks you through how you use it. And you see Coinbase also does custody. We talked about custody. This is a way that the coins are actually insured to a level. So that's kind of cool to know that they have, here's the coins that they support. ETH is Ethereum, Bitcoin. That's a trading pair. Litecoin, Bitcoin, all these different ones. And they have a lot more planned to come on in the next year. So the Coinbase Pro account verification, you're going to verify your account to use the platform. Like I said, once you do the Coinbase account, you're going to be set up with a lot of this already. But it is going to require digits of your social security number, the last four, your ID, things of this sort. Okay. They show you how to trade on it. There it is. It's basically, if you've been on another trading platform, it's pretty much the same. It's something you'll just have to get used to. Okay. You look at the charts. If you do a limit or a stop limit where you're waiting for a certain price to hit before you buy or sell, it does cost more. It's typically about 3%, I'd say 2.5%, 3%, depending on what kind of trade you make. The more protection you put in there, the more it's going to cost you. If you do a market, buy or sell, you watch the market, it's going to be pretty affordable. All right. Shows you how to place an order. We talked about it. It's real simple. Right on the side there. There's the wallet address. See right there how you can make it. Pretty simple. Same thing, you want to send money out of this to somewhere else, purchase something, put it into a hard wallet, whatever. Just send to your hard wallet. Address from your hard wallet, send it off. Here's that little piece of paper I was telling you about. Pops up when you are funding cash to your account. If you see, it's got a SEPA transfer, bank account, and a Coinbase wallet. So once you have your Coinbase wallet, you just click that right there, and it's going to go and allow you to deposit cash, which is the cheapest way on the safest platforms to buy Bitcoin, the way that I described to you, that I'm aware of. If there's another way, I don't know what it is, but here you go. See, looks like it's kind of written for Europe, but the same thing applies. 0.3% typically. There you go. Is it safe? Yeah, it's pretty safe. Coinbase Pro, actually insured coverage up to 250,000 per person for USD balances, okay, in the account. Pretty cool, right? All right, that's about it. I think if you're new to Bitcoin and you were kind of had a hankering to get involved and get invested, I think you are going to be a little better equipped and a little safer. And when I do the live presentation, I'll have a Q&A And then that's about it. So I'm your host, Shane Ripley with Mountain Crypto. Appreciate any of your comments. If you have some constructive criticism to improve this, especially if you're pretty new, I think most people that would want to come see this presentation are going to be interested already in Bitcoin and know a little bit about it. Maybe not a lot, but a little tiny bit. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll get some brand new greenhorns that don't know anything about it. So I got to find, some sort of balance on that, right? Let's see if I can turn this off now. That usually takes me a little bit of while. Thank you. I'm your host, Shane Ripley of Mountain Crypto. Over and out until I figure out how to turn this thing off.